We see this over and over and over again. People get into their business, they get busy, they get the message from the wholesalers. Yeah, don't worry about compliance, don't worry about your loan files. If you need something, we'll get it to you. So just go out and get those loans in, because that's what the wholesalers of the world want. They want the loans, and they're there to help you build your business, but they pick up from the period of time where you stop as a broker or as a lender. In other words, you've submitted the loan to them. They're taking all the loan level compliance, but there's a period of time before that where you're responsible for compliance. A. B, when the loan closes, you're responsible for retaining records of that transaction. And imagine that you've been in business for a year and a half to 2 years, and you've closed a couple hundred loans, and you weren't really sure what was going into those files. And you get a notice from a regulator, and this happens in every state. We want to see 50 loan files. We want to see your closed loans. We want to see your denied loans. We want to see your withdrawn loans. And I just was talking to a customer this morning in Louisiana. Not every state takes a look at the denied, withdrawn, canceled loan files, but Louisiana does, and a lot of other states do. And he got that note, and they were looking for 3 years of loan files. And his entire 6-page audit report was a list of findings of documents which were missing on each of those loan files. And he had followed the advice of his lenders. Don't worry. When you get an audit, just ask us and we'll send you the loan files. But they were missing broker-specific disclosures, lender-specific disclosures. And this is what I would say to you. It's just if you do one thing, is post-close your loan files. And how easy is it? Well, you're new or you're a business, but you're trying to be more systematic. That file closes. This is a great day, right? You're just new to the business. Maybe it's your first loan file that you finally closed. And it's a reason for celebration. Yes, you should go out and get more loans, but before you deposit that check, before you bank that check, go through and reconcile that loan file. And it's actually a pretty easy process. John, do you mind if I share my screen?
No, and I just want to add one thing here. So I have seen companies that go through, and it's been, right, they're 2 years in the business, they get their first audit, and it literally takes them weeks to go back and rebuild the file. So there's an old saying that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's not that hard to do this right up front, to have a policy that every time, 100% of the time, these are the things that we do. Thomas is going to share a checklist, but just think this is a mission critical thing. Super.
Well, and to your point, if you think about that, that was the message I was going to communicate about this client who I talked to this morning. He literally had spent 4 weeks gathering the information that he needed for his examination. And that's 4 weeks. He's not going out and originating new business. So forget the cost of the examination, forget the cost of doing business, the hard cost, the lost time, right? That's our most valuable asset, is our time. Not only that, but now, because if it was the sloppy record keeping, the regulator has looked at his rating, and instead of coming back in 4 years to review him, they're coming back again next year to make sure that the situation has improved. So you just got yourself on the regulator's radar in a way that you don't want to be. And so once again, a lot of good reasons, time value of money, and the fact that you don't want to have more regulatory scrutiny than you can absolutely avoid. And this is a simple way of avoiding it. You put your files together in a good way. And so what I'm going to do is pop up this simple checklist. Now I know, and some of the feedback I get, and I'll just point this out because some of the feedback I get is that we're dealing with a digital environment now. And this seems like this is a paper process, right? Well, it does help if you can do it on paper, but you can also digitize this. The point of this is just to make sure you're doing a number of things at the time that you close the loan. So do you see the document that says post-closing audit preparation compliance checklist?
Yep.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to share with you. And by the way, if you want to email me and send me a copy, send me a request, I'm happy to send you a copy of this particular document. I believe it's so important. It's not a QC process. It's a QC checklist. But what we're trying to do here is ensure that you are keeping the information that you have on the file and that you're correcting the loan amount. One of the other citations we see frequently is that their NMLS call reporting is wrong. They've got the loan amounts wrong because somewhere between the time that you took the loan and submitted it and uploaded into the system and the lender closed it, the loan amount changed. So now if you haven't gone back and changed the loan amount in your LOS, you're going to have a discrepancy in your NMLS call report finding. Yeah, so make sure you document the copies of the check, any fees that you've had received. That one of the reasons that's super important is if you collect a fee and put it back to the borrower what they've paid, that they can fine you for that. So these are the things that you want to keep in files. There are some things that you don't need as a broker and some things that you don't need as a lender. But just a simple process of going through and keeping all of the things that you need in this file, storing it in a shared drive or a Google Drive or some other secure storage location. These are the ones that apply to you. And the one that we get the most pushback on is the broker agreement, because the lender, whether it's Rocket or UWM or whoever you're using, Plaza, Sierra, all the different lenders that are out there, they say that, they're preparing a broker agreement for you. But the truth is that we see this missing most often from of all of the documents. So making sure that you have these forms in the file and then just close the file and go on to the next loan. That's really the most important message I can give. To be systematic about it, I should do one thing, post-close the loan file, have a tool to do that so it's consistent. Make sure you get your broker agreement signed. Make sure you change your loan amounts so your call reporting is good.